All right, everybody. I think I'm live. Good. All right, so this next project, you're going to use charcoal. You might see a pencil here, but I'll explain that in a minute. First thing you're going to do is you're going to get a clean sheet of the drawing paper you've been using, which is this Strathmore all-purpose 80 weight paper. You're going to make it parallel as you can to the edge of your top and bottom. And after that, you're going to take little tiny pieces of tape and secure it. I like to flatten it out. Secure it to the board. And the reason I'm flattening this out like that is so there aren't any bubbles or pockets of air. All right. Once you have it flattened out, next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna give yourself a 1 inch border or a 2 inch border. We're gonna give ourselves a 1 inch border here. Whenever I do a 1 inch border, I always like to put the one right on the line instead of using the edge of the ruler. I just know for sure it's gonna be an inch if I go to the 2. And whenever I do this, measure 2 points and connect your 2 points. And right now I'm using a 4H, and I'm deliberately using something very light because I'm just using this pencil line as a guide to put tape down. And this is gonna be a big drawing. I'm going to turn my board, do the same thing. Just throwing a 1 inch on there. And this is why the 24-inch ruler comes in handy. This end. For perspective. And whenever I get a clean sheet of paper, I do my best not to crease it. If you crease something pretty badly, get a new sheet. You have plenty of sheets. You're only going to use a couple more. Well, this stinks. I'm going to have to use the edge of the ruler. Don't love that. And I will say this little lip right here for this project is going to help you out because it's going to catch all of the charcoal and it's not going to get all over the paper, your floor. But you probably have to take a vacuum cleaner and suck out the ledge there when we're working on this because we're going to put a lot of charcoal on this. And I'll explain in a second. All right. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get, let me just make sure I'm in view. Okay. You're gonna get a length of tape, a little bigger than the length that you're going to put down on. And I'm going to, what I do is I put one end down first. I'm right-handed, so I like to put the left hand down first. And then I just tap. Oops, not doing the best job. I'm sorry. I get really annoyed. I think I bent the tape itself, so it's kind of hard to, okay, there we go. All right, so, and I'm just gonna follow the line, and I'm exposing the line as I'm following it. And I should have worn my glasses because I can't see as well as I thought I could. I'm exposing the graphite line as I'm following this, so it's a nice straight line. The reason why you want this like this is because you do not want to, when you peel this off and you have this kind of wavy line or it doesn't look straight, it won't look good. So you're gonna do all this work. We're gonna work on this for a couple weeks, and you kind of want a nice result. nice thing about this yellow tape, it's used in a lot of your foundation courses, so I find it to be the best stuff. Art stores now sell it for my request at Dick Blick. They never did before. Okay. Not the green frog tape, the yellow frog tape. It's the better stuff. Oh, son of a gun. You know what? Since that happened, it's gonna stretch the tape. I'm gonna get a new piece because those are the things that annoy me. All right, here we go. The reason I put this on because we're going to cover this whole entire area with charcoal, and it creates a nice border when you're finished. And another reason I like it is when you handle the paper, you don't have to put your hand on the actual drawing. There's a nice border. It just looks nice. It's clean. Okay, so materials. Compressed charcoal. You will use this, but today we're just going to use this just to prepare the board. You will need these. These are blending stumps. This is a compressed charcoal pencil and a white pencil. Needed a eraser, but your kit should have came with one from drawing one. And you want to kind of reserve one kneaded eraser for compressed charcoal because it's going to get real messy real fast. We may not use these. General's white charcoal. And definitely we're going to use our pencil eraser. And I just can't find out where I misplaced mine, but these are the sticks that you'll need. But for today, oh, and don't confuse this compressed charcoal with willow charcoal or vine charcoal, which is the same thing. This is another form of compressed charcoal. It's General's. It's not that bad. It's actually pretty decent. I do like this Faber-Castell. It's just a nice, rich, dark, velvety black, and it's soft. So make sure you get soft. So that's really important too. And I'll talk about materials with another project. But for now, I'm just going to put these away. And you're going to just do this one out. And just take one stick out. Now, this is going to get into your fingers. It's going to get into your nails. You're going to look like you changed the oil in your car. If you want to wear rubber gloves, please be my guest. I think I have some in a box in another room, so I'm just going to use my hands. It is what it is. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to break this, and this gets really messy, so I recommend doing this outside so you can just kind of brush it off into the ground. I'm at the dining room table here, but basically you're going to put a ground on here, an even tone of black. And use your fingers. And that's basically, you're gonna have it look like this all the way around. It takes a few minutes. You might eat this whole quarter stick up. Notice I'm not going towards the edge right there, because I don't want this charcoal stick to hit the tape and roll the tape up. Once I get there, I'll just use my fingers to work the edge. All right. And it might take up some of the texture that's on your drawing board. It's not bad. This is just a ground base. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna use all my fingers. I am going to put some charcoal. Well, it just broke again. That's actually good. I'm just going to put some charcoal here, just like so. That way I can fit it in the border and I'm not rolling the tape back. When you peel the tape off, you have this nice clean edge. Now, I've had students put a base on and they loaded, it was so dark, there was so much material on there. You don't have to put that much on. You're just giving yourself a base because you're going to add more and you're going to take some away. But this is going to be a reductive drawing, meaning that we're going to work, unlike your graphite drawing, where you add medium. Here, you put medium down, but then you subtract. Then eventually you start to add and subtract at the same time. But this is a really healthy way to learn to draw because you start to look at shapes that make other shapes simultaneously. And I'll explain that once I get into the gist of the project. Oops, see, I did exactly what I didn't want to do. I got charcoal underneath there. Darn it. It's not the end of the world. If you ever decide to frame this, you're not even going to see this anyway. That's basically it. The rest of it you'll kind of work in as you add more. I mean, if you want to like put a little bit more on, you can. But you're gonna have to take some of it off. So you might as well wait to another time.
I just want to know if my head is in there.
Okay, good. Looking at the video. Just adding a little bit more, just one small layer. The nice thing about this paper here, and the reason why we're using this paper and we're using compressed charcoal, is because it doesn't have much of a tooth. It doesn't have a major, like a big saturation point, meaning it can't hold a lot of medium, which is great for this kind of a medium. What's different about compressed charcoal as opposed to willow charcoal, there's, I have the answer for this and I kind of forgot. I think there's wax in this and it kind of smooths. It's not as chalky as the willow charcoal and it has like a different effect. And you get pretty clear with it. You get pretty detailed with this medium. All right, so I'm basically ready here. That's all I'm gonna do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go outside, brush this off. I'm gonna wash my hands 3 or 4 times. Clean up the edge a little bit just so it doesn't get over my kitchen table. And then and then I'll start the process of drawing. All right.